I wanted to have you on my podcast show as one of my first guests because you're basically my life partner, work wife / been there since the beginning, one of my best friends. And we have a personal life together, as well
Don't
as...
tell them about it.
as well as balancing our work lives. And we've both been through so many things together and so much personal growth.
Yes.
In now what's almost a decade at this point. Little less.
Yeah,
little
that's
less.
right.
2015 is kind of where it all started. And I wanted to talk about I was just reminiscing over some of the funny kind of incidents and instances throughout our life together.
They're all flashing before my eyes.
Flash, 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 flash. So we actually originally met through your brother. Right? And I remember, and this is really funny. I mean, maybe I'm opening up my heart a little bit too much, but I actually remember like when I met you, I was just like, I love this person. No homo. I was just like, I love her. She's beautiful. She's like, I just had instant affinity for you. I just knew it. And I think that happens sometimes in your life when you meet. I mean, I hope it happens for people. If it doesn't, it's really sad that they never had one of those like imprinty.
Love at first sight.
Yeah.
Can happen in friendships
kind of like
too.
a Twilight novel.
Yeah.
Kind of imprint sort of thing or whatever. Oh my God. I've officially made this super weird.
So extreme.
I'm so weird.
I imprinted
on you. No, but I was like, immediately I was like, I want to do stuff with her. Like business, life, like whatever, activities, like have fun. Because I just knew we could just vibe, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
In the interest of not sounding like too young. Vibe is like the new word. But anyways. And now I'm sounding way younger than I am right now. Oh, gosh.
That's fire.
Yeah, fire. So I remember this was actually before we got into finance and insurance, which has completely changed our lives. I don't even know. We would be in a completely different place in our lives right now if we did not get into this industry.
It's true.
But our first business, when my daughter was 1, or she was months old, right?
When Zoe opened up her first sweatshop.
She was my first worker in my first sweatshop.
Oh, yes.
We had this idea that we were going to make
bad.
earrings. We were going to make earrings and sell them at flea markets.
Yeah.
And we didn't know anything about business at this point. We're buying all of our supplies from Michael's, like super expensive. We have we're just creating, and you were mostly the labor because
Yes.
I wasn't as good at making earrings as you were, but I did make some. And I remember we'd work all day, and at that time we could rent a booth at a flea market for like $6 for the day.
Yeah.
And we spend the entire day.
only $6?
It was only $6 back then.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I remember the specific thing though that was really funny. There was a pair of earrings that you made that was red beads, and you were so embarrassed by them.
They were awful, Zoe.
You literally just made, they were
Are you
leftover.
sure you didn't make them?
I'm pretty sure you did, because they were leftover, and you made most of them.
Okay.
They were the leftover beads, and you were like, I don't know what to do with these, so I'm just going to throw them on a pair of earrings. You're like embarrassed to even put them up.
Yeah, they were awful.
And then as soon as you put them up, a little old lady came over and picked them up and literally bought them, and we were both in total shock because we were like, these are the ugliest things that we have.
I think once she left, we were like, wait, we'll pay you to take them. This is not right.
Anyway, we learned a lot at that time. We learned that profitability was important.
I'm still stuck on the fact that if it only costs $6, how did we manage not to make any money?
Because we bought these expensive materials, and we didn't price
sell them. Yeah, we couldn't sell them.
We couldn't price them properly. We couldn't sell them, and we were there all day. And Malaya my daughter was like in her little pack-in, like traveling
whatever that thing
rocker
was.
thing.
Yeah.
And she would sit there, and we would like rock her while we'd
chillest baby ever.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes, while we were selling. I think the big turning point though that made me realize that really wasn't our business that we were going to do together was when I had earring parts at home and she started crawling, and I was like, oh no, I'm just asking for a trip to the ER, having little earring pieces around with a little baby that was just crawling. she actually took her first step with you, and I wasn't even there.
That's right.
You did get it on. You did get it on camera for me.
And she threw her first chair with me.
Her first toddler tantrum.
First plastic toy chair.
Yes. First toddler tantrum.
I'm the best babysitter. I know.
Oh my gosh. I remember you told me this one story where you like gave her something, like some candy or something sweet. And then
she did her grudge voice.
She did mine.
Yeah. No, it was more like mine. Like literally, I was like
give me more sugar.
It was a exorcism. Okay.
That was so funny.
It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
So I want to talk to you just about our whole journey and just from your perspective, like what has it been like for you on your side? Because I know what it was like for me, you know, going through these last years together. Yeah. But I can say for sure that you helped keep me sane and on the straight and narrow, because I remember, I mean, I have so many moments where I have these like, almost like I call them mini meltdowns, where I'm just like...
Tantrums, you mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're not like a toddler tantrum. They're just like these, you know, where I'm just like really frustrated. Mm-hmm. I recover very fast.
Yes.
But, you know, I just wanted to get your perspective, like how is this business that we've done together and we've created together? Because you've really been probably the key person that's helped me get to where I am. How did it go for you? Like from the moment, I know your story on how your perception of how I was presenting this, like how it went down.
Oh, God.
But I really want to hear it from you.
Oh, man. This is kind of a long one, but I'll try and shorten it up. Well, we did the earring thing, and then I had a baby. And I remember telling you, you were trying to get me into the business. And you're like, you can make all this money. And a normal person would be like, oh my God, that's fucking awesome. Let's do it. But I wasn't. I was like, no. Because I think it was so unreal to me. Like I had never made that kind of money before. So it was just so unreal that I could, you know, achieve the same things. So I started kind of crapping on it a bit. And then I was like, no, it's too boring, man. It's too boring. And you got so mad at me. Like, not, you know, personally, you were upset. You were hurt, which was perfectly understandable.
So even your best friends cannot see your vision. Even your best friends can sometimes not see your vision right away.
Damn, rub it in. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think the moral of that story, though, is like, it really wasn't about you and like anything that you were doing that was wrong or like, you know, anything like that. It was just me. Like I hadn't made any of that kind of money before. I worked at a grocery store, you know, I went and sold rugs and art in another state for 2 months. And then like I worked at a family center. I never made, you know, I was making probably $8 an hour at the grocery store, $15 an hour here and there, a few $100 in commissions doing rugs and art. So it's like, it was just totally unreal, you know, the kind of money that you were making at that time. So anyway, fast forward, I was like, Zoe, you need an assistant. Let me help you. I need to make a little bit of extra cash. And then you're like, no, I'm good. I don't want that for you. You don't want to do that. I don't really need anything. And then I think I made like, I don't know, a 65-point list of all the things that I could help you with. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, fine. You really sold me. You really sold me because I was like, I really do need help.
I was like, no, I can.
I just didn't want to subject you to the menial labor of an assistant, you know, because I would never want to do that. And so making someone else do that was like, why would anyone want to do that, any of that stuff?
I know. And, you know, I just really had no problem with it. I was like, you know, I don't know if I can cuss, but I was like, make me your bitch. Like, really, I have no problem.
You literally texted that to me. I will get you
your coffee.
You literally
pick up your kid from school.
You're like, I want to be your bitch. That was literally the text. I wish I still had that text. I was like, I know. Make me your bitch.
Yeah, literally. I was like, anything. Well, not anything. But anyway, so that's how it started. And then you had another assistant who went out of town or something for a few months. So you made me go in the office. I had to get a license so that I could talk to clients about particular things. So I got the license. And then it kind of just grew from there. I really loved, you know, helping people get through the licensing and get trained and stuff like that. And yeah, it just kind of grew. And I think I take for granted, honestly, like you're always telling me, like I feel like such a loser because I'm not at your level yet, even though I've been doing this for, almost the same amount of time. But like in comparison to where I started, just the personal growth, but also I'm making so much more money than I ever have too, and helping a lot of people. And it's very fulfilling, honestly. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. That was still very long, but I could have made it longer.
What do you feel your biggest barrier has been? Because you're a mom, you have 2 kids, you have a husband, you do all of the mom stuff.
Yeah.
You have more mom jobs than I do with 1 kid that I have,
Yes. So
how do you deal with it?
With them kids? No, it's tough. I think there's just a lot going on, and it's hard to kind of keep the focus sometimes because you're very good at just kind of honing in and doing your thing until you get burnt out. But it's kind of harder for me to just focus because I have all these other, worrying about the kids, or, I got to go home and make dinner, or like, all these other little things, a part of my life that kind of are distracting. So basically just get rid of your kids if you have them. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just put in the work when you can, honestly.
You're a good example of prioritizing your kids and then getting yourself back on track. Because I know that you take it really hard. Like, you're your own worst critic and your own worst enemy when it comes to that. You always feel like you're underperforming. Okay. But you do course correct. You're always consistent.
It's true. It's true. And here's the thing that I have observed, it made me feel a lot better about myself, honestly, is because in our business, there are a lot of other people that do what we do in other states, and we come together for conventions and conferences and stuff like that. But the people that are in our office are so insanely productive. Like, so just by the sheer statistics, I'm just like, wow, I'm a fucking loser, But compared to all the other people, I'm killing it. Okay? Yes, like a part-time person. But because you and Kafir and all these guys are such like amazing examples of.
Can I tell you something though? Like, even though I made 6 figures my first year and built a 7-figure business, I literally always still think I am underperforming and kind of a loser sometimes in my own mind. Like, I think it's an internal struggle.
It is.
Because you always kind of know what you have your own expectation for yourself, or your own kind of idea of where you should be.
It's particularly difficult though, Zoe, and I want you to try. Just put yourself in my shoes for just a second. Okay? Is when you've been doing this for as long as we have. Okay. And then you get somebody else started in the business like 2 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've been in for 2. We've been in for like, longer. And then they make like $500,000 in their second year. And you're like, what am I even doing with my life? Why am I even here? Is this the right business for me? No, I'm just kidding. But it is a little bit, that's the thing, is like the comparison game is not a good game to play.
Yes.
And when you kind of dial it back, it's like, okay, well, this person doesn't have kids, or this person is not the mom in their family because they're a dude. So they're like totally able to just do their thing, no distraction, so there are a lot of other things that could justify, okay, well, I'm not there because of this or whatever. But honestly, I feel like I'm 90% past that. And it's really just, okay, do what you can do, try and, do more sales or be more productive than the previous year. And I've always managed to do that, which I'm extremely proud of, because when I started, every single year, there's like growth every year. So at least I have that going for me.
You should feel like a proud mother, though.
Yes.
Because I feel that way. Like, to mentor and coach someone, which we did together, let's be honest, to $500,000 of income, like not just sales, but like cash to pocket in 2 years is incredible. Neither of us achieved that. Like, it took me years to cross over that amount gross income. Like, you know, and I look back on it, and that's funny because you run that stat for yourself. Like you're just like a little, or that statistic of being up a little bit every year. And it's really cool because I've been tracking my passive income statistic. Like what actual income do I make that is not because I am doing all the work myself, right? And that I'm very proud to, it just stably goes up in this business. So I think that's one of the most amazing things. And I'm really glad that I kind of like pushed through, and we pushed through a lot of barriers and things together. I mean, we have upgraded the office like 4 times. Yeah. Maybe more. 4 times we've moved in made and gotten bigger offices, and we've expanded. And I remember when we had 10 agents or something, maybe 10, and now we have hundreds in training, and we have 120 active or something. Yeah,
and you know, that's one thing that I'm like looking at, because every time I'm like, Zoe, I'm a loser. You're like, dude, come on. You've helped train like hundreds of people. We have, you know, multiple 6-figure guys in our office now. And I'm like, okay, I don't often enough, because I have 2 roles. You know, I do my own business on the side, and then I also help you, you know, grow your organization. And it's like, I don't appreciate that side enough, because it's like I have put in a lot of man hours and helped a lot of people make a crap ton of money and help a lot of families, you know, which is...
We're in 20 states,
which is awesome.
I actually counted that we're selling in 20 states now.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We've got guys in 20 states, so it's pretty exciting.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Remember that one time when we went ziplining?
Oh God. Okay, this is actually a really good one to talk about, the ziplining incident.
Oh, this is a personal growth story now.
This is a personal growth story because, was it your 20th birthday?
19, baby.
Your 19th birthday. Mm-hmm. So your 19th birthday, we went ziplining. I'm over 300 pounds.
You were.
I was over 300 pounds, and I didn't think about it before I booked it, right? But before we went on the zip line, it said it was a 290 limit.
I remember that.
Right? So I'm 300 pounds, like, without my shoes on. And all my stuff, right? So I was so embarrassed, and no one thought to weigh me for some reason. I was so embarrassed, and I didn't bring it up. So when I was ziplining out of pure fear that I was going to die but I wouldn't say anything. And I remember specifically this funny time when the zipline guy at the end was like, and then we'll catch you like a princess.
On the fast one? Or they're like, just... Yeah, look at
like sometimes the girls get stuck because they don't weigh enough, you know. They don't go all the way to the end of the line because they don't weigh enough, right? And they don't have enough momentum. And then I don't know. You have this video of me at the literally worst angle. It's something that probably will somehow get its way onto YouTube at one of these.
You know, if we ever get into it really bad, I think we've never had a fight. You know what I mean? Which is really impressive, I think.
After all this time.
Just side note, like we've never had a fight, which is awesome. But if we ever did, you know, just remember.
You have this blackmail material.
You just see you like flying in. And I didn't get him catching you, but I just hear him go, oh, and then you see all these like wires.
She's coming in hot.
She's coming in hot. And then you see all the wires and cables shake, and it's absolutely hilarious. I cried. Like, I just cried laughing.
It was so funny because I almost like knocked him over. I mean, it's funny. It's sad at the same time.
You did knock him over.
I did knock him over. And the reason why this is applicable is that I went ziplining last weekend.
Yes.
And this was the first time that I've gone since then. And I was well under the weight limit.
That's amazing.
Like more than 100 pounds under the weight limit.
See, what's incredible is that I was scared shitless to go anyway. And I was like 140 pounds at the time, because the stands that we were on, where you get on the zip line, like move in the wind. They're like these, you know, these platforms that are like super tall. And I have a heights thing, but that was already scary, so I can't even imagine what you were going through. Just like
fear of death.
This is where it ends.
But I was so embarrassed that I was willing to risk it because I didn't want to say anything.
Oh Oh my God.
It was crazy.
It was just me and Abram. You didn't. You could have been like, nah, guys.
I know.
Not for me, actually.
I know.
I'm feeling sick suddenly.
I'm too scared. Gosh.
That was a fun trip. We did a lot of other things too, not just the zip lining. So at least it wasn't completely traumatic for you.
I love traveling with you. And it was so exciting for us to go to New York a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Because that was like our first trip that we took together forever.
I don't think we'd ever gone on an actual girls trip.
We'd never done a girls trip before.
So we'd always been with our significant others.
We went to New York and we had a $5 taco at the Chelsea market.
Best taco I've ever had.
It will change your life.
Yeah, we need to see if we can somehow get those
ordered.
Uber Eats.
Ordered,
flown in.
Could be Gold Belly. Yeah. Might ship them. I'm going to have to check it out. Do you ship this Japanese taco from the Chelsea market?
It was so good.
Yeah, but that was an epic trip. We saw 3 Broadway shows.
Yeah.
Central Park. Walked a lot. I walked 65,000 steps. You probably walked half of that, since I have to walk 2 steps for every step you take.
That was absolutely hilarious. Oh my God. We actually measured it. While we were walking. We were like, ding, 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 like a little corgi.
Oh my gosh.
Training is tough, Training people is tough.
It feels like herding cats.
Here's the thing, have you ever tried to get your entire family to do an activity together?
It's very difficult to get everyone on the same page.
It's impossible. It's actually impossible. So it's very similar to training other people, because everyone has a personality,
Yeah.
And it's like you could have a perfect system, you could have a perfect flow line, all that stuff, but the people are what make anything, difficult or easy, right? So that's always been the biggest challenge in our business. I really think like anyone could win. It's just you just have to push through and get through those steps. So
I think the only way we've been able to do it is when we just set times and we're like, show up or not. Show up or not. Because, you can lead them to water, but you can't force them to drink.
Yeah.
And it's all there. I think we've also made a lot of advancements over the years. Technology has increased. Like, we didn't have Zoom. We didn't even use Zoom.
That's right.
We didn't even have electronic applications for some of our products back then when we first started.
Oh God, yeah.
Just heaps of paperwork.
I think the other thing too is like you really get used to that happening.
Yeah.
Getting people on board and then them quitting, or putting in so much time and effort into somebody and then really making you think that they're going to be like the biggest superstar in the world, and then they quit.
Yeah.
Even after they've gotten licensed too. And you're like, dude, you're right there. You're literally right there.
Yeah.
But I think we've gotten so used to it now, so it doesn't affect us. It doesn't I'd
say it really changed our mindset. It also made us tough.
That's what I'm saying.
It made us tough. It made us really tough. And I think we get really used to, I don't even think about it. Like, I actually realized when I was taking a look at it, like, I don't even mentally note if I failed closed anything or I failed something, because for me, it's like it never happens. And it doesn't really happen that much these days at all.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Even when it did, I just trained myself to not even have that. I'm just okay, on to the next. Just keep going.
Goldfish, man.
Just keep going.
Do you know the goldfish thing?
Yeah, you have a 2-second
That's
memory.
my new thing.
Goldfish.
You tell people, just be a goldfish.
Just be a goldfish.
Just be a goldfish.
Just be a goldfish.
Because I don't feel like you ever really had that problem, but for most humans, you're not human. When you get a rejection or whatever, it's like soul crushing. It's so hard to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and go on to the next and try again. It really is so, so hard, because you're like, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Am I not good enough? And you go through that whole, vicious mental cycle. So that's my personal growth thing. I've come a long way since that. Now I'm like, I don't give up.
I got to the point where I was like, I feel like the only thing that anyone can do wrong is just give up on themselves or quit.
It's true.
And pretty much everyone does.
Yep.
A little too soon in almost anything in their life, and that's the only reason they're not where they want to be.
It's true.
I was studying, I was like really like listening and reading and really looking at successful people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example. And they have very clearly stated goals. They know exactly, they can envision it very well. And then they are determined and they do not quit until they get it. And
that's true.
That's like literally the only thing. I mean,
or even if they have a rough time, they're like, okay, I'm going to quit for the day, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just going to, we're just going to not do this today. And then they get back at it the next day.
How many times do you think we've quit for a day?
Oh my God.
Like
a
so
week,
many
2
times.
weeks even.
2 weeks. Yeah.
But it's like, I've never allowed myself to like really quit.
Yeah.
You know, I've gotten
close many times.
I've gotten down there, man. I've gotten pretty far down that scale. But, you know, I've never been like, it's never crossed my mind, honestly. Like, oh, I'm not going to do this business anymore.
Yeah.
I've just been like, well, that sucked. And I don't want to open my mouth about sales for a couple weeks. And then I get over myself, you know? And I think a lot more people should just do that.
They just do that.
Just give yourself a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And then just, you know.
It all goes down to mindset.
It does,
Yeah.
It does. So.
Well, I feel very fortunate to have you in my life.
Aww,
and
me too.
I'm really excited about the future. Like
me too.
I see, you know, you having your own separate 7-figure business to what I have in the very near future, and we're going to be in all 50 states, not just 20.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this podcast and show too was just to give people, like, I really want to talk about health and wealth and happiness, and I want to motivate and inspire people.
Yeah.
And I want people to feel like our group is really real. And I want them to feel like they can connect with us. I want them to feel like they can team up with us, or they can reach out to us, or we'll work with them or help them. Kind of, maybe they'll relate to the different struggles and things that we've gone through, because we've already done it. So it's kind of like,
I mean, I really think we're the poster kids for like, if we can do it, you definitely can.
That's right.
You know, we don't have college degrees. I barely have a GED. It's like, I worked at a grocery store, people. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you got this, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, like, sales background, very little confidence in starting.
Yes.
Having to constantly be believed in and given that. So I feel like the key thing was really a mindset shifts, and then continuing to move forward no matter what.
Yes.
So yeah, well, thank you for being on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
This was
so
awesome.
Special.
I love having good conversation.
Yeah, me too.